the Central Temple. Around the same time, they recorded 4 pulses from the Allspark when they broke ground on the site. During their dig, the Autobots discovered pieces of 12 relics.
Once this site is revealed, we'll need to preserve the area as soon as possible. Some of the initial samples show that the artifacts are very old,
said Optimus.
Just how old, Optimus?
Jazz asked.
We talking Ratchet old?
To that, Ratchet deploys his special tools and jokingly says,
Old? Why, you smart, stern little... Just you wait until you're in my recovery bay again. I'm just as good at disabling vocal processors as I am with fixing them. No, Jazz. I think since before our time here,
said Optimus.
Really? Then the site may be related to the Allspark, right? Perhaps. But then again, it could prove to be just as mysterious as the Allspark itself. Or it could be just as powerful,
said a voice out of nowhere. It was Megatron.
So tell me, Optimus, what do you think it is? I can't tell, sir. But if I had to guess, I'd say that it's possibly a link to our past,
suggested Optimus. When Optimus walked off with Protector Megatron, Ratchet whacked Jazz on the back of his head. Megatron was not very interested in the historical aspects, but more if they were potential sources of power similar to the Allspark, or potential threats he and his defense force would need to deal with. While Megatron was touring the site, RC's team found an intact relic with a strange symbol on it. Protector Megatron wanted the relic removed at once, but Optimus insisted that they would need time to remove it safely. The two leaders were on the verge of another argument when unknown hostiles attacked Cybertron. Although Megatron wanted the Science Division to help in the defense, Optimus promised that the division would defend the scientific interests of Cybertron while the Defense Force were free to conduct counterattacks. Megatron relented but insisted that the intact artifact be removed to his quarters for safekeeping. In the aftermath of the attack, Jazz accompanied Prowl as the latter investigated the attack on the Central Temple to investigate how much damage was done.
This can't be good. Nope, not at all. I get the feeling that this is the start of something big,
said Bumblebee. His fellow guard Cliffjumper replies,
Could be. But then again, it's not like we're going to be having anything to do with a larger fight, you know. What do? We stand guard. That's about it.
Prowl agrees and says,
And that's all you're going to do, got it? Unless you want to be replaced by drones. At ease, you two.
After which he quizzed them on how the Allspark had reacted during the battle. He turns his attention to a huge hole in the temple wall and says,
This blast damage seems like they were trying to break in, not destroy the temple. You think they were after the Allspark?
asked Jazz.
I'd say so, but I know someone who might know more.
After the aliens were repelled, Optimus ordered his science teams to help the survivors of the attack while he went on to confer with Megatron, only to nearly come to blows with the High Protector when he demanded that Optimus marshal the Science Division for a war against the aliens. Fearing that Megatron sought to divide Cybertron, Optimus called a meeting of the Science Division and appealed to all those who served under him to not join Megatron on his crusade, asking them to instead stay by his side and continue on their mission of peaceful research. Jazz and Prowl later joined Optimus after sweeping the temple.
Prowl, can I ask you something? Sure thing. What is it, Optimus? Do you think that Megatron is a capable leader? You mean, do I think that Megatron is the best leader we have? No, I don't,
replies Prowl.
His actions of late are questionable. There seems to be a divide in our ranks. We should be unified. Unified? Okay. You got about the same chance of convincing Megatron to be unified as we do of actually being considered part of his army,
says Jazz.
You mean that you're not a part of his forces?
Prowl responds and says,
Oh, we are. But our roles are now pretty much restricted to sentry duty.
Realizing sentries such as Prowl and Jazz had access to Megatron's personal quarters, Prime asked them for a favor, aid him in sneaking into Megatron's quarters.
What you hoping to find down here, Optimus? I'm hoping to find anything, Jazz, but something happened, and I'm just looking.
The three of them successfully snuck in, where they discovered that a relic that they previously unearthed seemed to have been restored by Megatron himself.
Fascinating, yet very confusing,
said Optimus.
What do you mean?
Jazz asked.
The condition of this artifact was nowhere near this when it was brought here. Megatron must have cleaned it up. There's got to be a reason why this one remained intact.
As Optimus proceeds to further examine the relic, Prowl yells,
Optimus, time's up. We have to leave. Skyblast reports that the battle is over and Megatron is on his way back. Very well, Prowl. I just wish that we had more time.
So the three of them make their leave. Just want to make a side note and point out that the mysterious relic is none other than the Fallen who's trapped inside it. Megatron was ultimately swayed by the Fallen's cause and driven power hungry at this point, but I don't want to go too deep into that exposition. I recommend you check out my video on Megatron's origins if you want to know more. But anyways, Megatron returned from the front with news of their success and awaited further instructions from his master. The Relic ordered Megatron to prepare the way for his return by expanding the army, and at the end, Cybertron would be Megatron's while everything else would be the Fallen's. Megatron was enraged when the Relic informed him that Optimus had snooped inside his quarters while he was fighting the aliens, and convinced the Protector that Optimus was after the same power the Relic had promised him. Megatron arranged to have the traitors taken care of by ordering Jazz and along with a Prowl security team to arrest Optimus, and sent Starscream soldiers to kill all of them. Shortly after discovering that he was a Prime due to bearing a symbol on his helmet, Optimus went with RC and Ratchet to the excavation site, where they discussed the ramifications of this new information, only for the group to be apprehended for treason by the unwilling Prowl.
Optimus, stand down!
Yells Prowl.
You're to be obtained per orders from Megatron.
As he notices he's outnumbered, Optimus looks up and asks,
Detained? For what?
and Prowl replied,
For treason.
Optimus Prime moves in closer to the lieutenant and asks,
How can that be, Prowl? How have I committed treason against my brothers? Tell me.
Ease back, Optimus,
says Bumblebee as he points his blaster at the newly anointed Prime.
we're just following orders.
You're right.
Bumblebee, sir.
You're right, Bumblebee. My quarrel is not with you. Take me to Megatron then. Everyone's got to go, Optimus,
said Jazz. Optimus was quite angry but complied with their order. Heading to the ruins of Metro Titan, Optimus realized that something was wrong when they were going down the road that Wreckage said was under construction. Prowl agreed to Optimus's request to stop, but Starscream and his group ambushed them with orders to kill them all. Luckily, Optimus directed the others in a successful counterattack and ordered the group to rally. Far from Trypticon, Captain Ironhide wanders through Berthob, his thoughts occupied elsewhere. Suddenly, he is ambushed by Cliffjumper.
Don't move, Ironhide. Don't move or I'll shoot.
Ironhide readies his ion cannons and says,
With that, I've got these.
and 4 more Autobot soldiers surround him, and Cliffjumper responds saying, I've got them. Ironhide lowers his weapons and says,
I'm in no mood to fight. It better not be trouble. We got that covered,
said Jazz.
I'm just walking. There's nothing back there for me now. The cause has changed.
Ironhide turned his back on the military after Megatron declared Optimus' followers to be traitors, and that the army now flew under a new banner, the Decepticons. Jazz reports this to Prowl.
He's alone.
Very well. Bring him in. Prime wants to see him.
Right away.
Replies Jazz. Later, after it was discovered that Megatron was building a massive starship for some unknown purpose, Jazz was the one who suggested that they should have their own ship as well, just in case. During the subsequent Civil War, Jazz fought alongside Optimus Prime in their struggle for freedom. But as the war reached its height, Optimus decided to launch the Allspark into space to keep it out of Lord Megatron's hands and to buy them time. Bumblebee was successful in diverting the Decepticon leader's attention at Tiger Pax, but was grievously injured as a result. Jazz was part of the team that discovered him in the wreckage after the Decepticons had left. As the Autobots prepared to leave Cybertron to go after Megatron and the Allspark, Optimus expressed his concerns.
RC reports that Megatron left Tiger Pax and went after the Allspark. With any luck, we can catch him out there, alone. Some of our ranks are staying put in incognito.
Jazz informs Optimus.
If the Decepticons try any shenanigans, we gon' hit them where it hurts.
Over time, the Allspark lands on Earth, and Megatron ends up trapped in the frozen Arctic. Along the way, the Autobots send teams out to different locations, reacting to trace elements of the Allspark energy. The Decepticons park their ship on Mars, and Starscream leads a contingent to Earth, traveling in the Protoform alternate modes. Fast forward a little later between the events of the first and second movie where Jazz met his untimely death, Captain Lennox, Sergeant Epps, and the other soldiers helped Ironhide find a suitable transportation for Jazz's remains. As Ironhide somberly placed Jazz's body in the trailer, the soldiers lowered their heads in honor of the Autobots who sacrificed his life to save theirs. Weeks later, the Autobots and their soldier friends are on a US Navy aircraft carrier for Jazz's burial at sea.
Ready when you are, Optimus,
says Lennox.
Thank you, Captain. We are ready.
This is Sergeant Epps. We're all set down here, Admiral. A crane hoisted the trailer containing Jazz's body and dropped it into the ocean. The Autobots bid a final farewell to their friend. Gone, but not forgotten. Jazz is laid to rest. And that, my friends, is where we'll have to end the video. I hope you enjoyed this origin story because I did what I could to make it more interesting given how minimal Jazz's role was in the comics. As I mentioned earlier, he was one of the robots the films got right, from his personality right down to his overall design. If the future film installments want to get the hardcore fans back on board, they desperately need to try to repeat what the first film did and make the Transformers recognizable like Jazz was. I have my fingers crossed that we see him in some of the later movies, whether it be in prequels, and here's hoping we hear from his voice actor Darius McCrary because he did an excellent job portraying him. But anyways, what do you think of Jazz's origin story? Do you find him interesting? Does it help you appreciate the expanded universe that debate films have presented? Let me know in the comment section below. And to get a confirmation that you watched this video in its entirety, follow your comments up with hashtag RestEasyJazz. As always, I ask that you like or dislike the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up, it can be a thumbs down. Any feedback is good feedback and will only help me improve on future content. And if you're interested in more Transformers history videos like this one, or Transformers videos in general, subscribe and hit that notification button to stay updated. Just want to give a huge thanks to all the notification squad who's still rocking out with me. Without you guys, this channel would not be where it's at today. But anyways, this is your boy RBG signing out on another video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.